In the previous part of this video, we have seen how we use the checkboxes and the radio buttons. In this video, we will add event handlers to our visual controls. So let's start with the sex. If I choose the male option, it will display me here, male, on the text box. Okay, so let's go to the event while our male is selected. Then there are different choices of events that we can use from here. We can use the check change, meaning it will occur whenever the tick mark of this radio button changes. Okay, so let's first do this one. Okay, let's open this and then let's write here text message. The text is equals to, then we will use the sender. Okay, what is the purpose of these two parameters? Sender and event args. So basically, sender is the object that initiated the event. In this case, that is the radio button 1. The event arg are the data contained inside of the event. So for now, we're not going to touch the data inside of this event. What we're after with on this event is just the sender. So sender is a generic object to represent the radio button. So that is why we have to convert this into a radio button. So to do that, we will use the casting. It should be like this. Radio button, then sender, and then after casting it, we can now access the properties of the radio button. So we will use the text. Okay. So let's run this and try the effect of the changes. So if we click this, so meaning we selected male. So but as we select other options for female and others, it does nothing. So because the event that we have used is only the event for male. So we will do the same thing for female and others. Okay, so let's open the check event for this, check change event. And then let's just copy and paste this. And then for this one, let's do the same, check change, and then paste it also here. There you go. So let's start running this. And then click this, so it changes to female. Click this, change to male, female, others. Okay, so there you go. It's now working. All right. So let's do the same thing for civil status. So this time, what we'll do is to choose a different event. Instead of using check change, we will use the click event. Okay. And at the same time, as you can see on our previous code, they are separated according to the object. Radio button 1 has its own event handler. Radio button 2 has its own event handler. And same goes with radio button 3. So, but for this, we are going to perform sharing of event handlers or the shared event handlers. And to do that, let's select all of this. So I am pressing the control key on my keyboard and then clicking each radio button here. So let's select the first one. From your keyboard, hold down the control key and then click each radio button. And then go to your event list and then select the click event. Then double click. All of those controls will share on same event handler. So let's start typing here, text message. The text is equals to radio button text. Let's just copy and paste that here. There you go. Okay. And then let's try running this. Female, other, single, married, single, married. Okay, so there you have it. It's now properly working. Okay, so the difference between the two approaches we did for sex and for civil status is that for sex, we created event handlers for each radio button. One event handler for male, one event handler for female, and one event handler for others. And that is a bit tedious. For civil status, what we did is the shared event handlers. So we created an event and we shared that event to each of these radio button. So if I click single, it will take me to a blank event. If I click married, it will take me to a blank event. Why? Because all of these events were not initiated individually. Instead, they were initiated as a group. So if I click all of this and then go to the event list and then select the click event, it will take me to the section where we wrote the shared event. Okay, so now my codes is pretty messed up because of the new created events, where in fact we don't need this one. So let's remove this, and then after removing that, it will raise an error as we go back to our form designer because we created an event wherein we also deleted it. So we have also to delete it on the initialization of the events, which in this case, this portion of our project. So let's go back to the form designer, and still we have an error. So let's click this link, and then it will take us there where the error is present. So let's remove this again. So as you can see, we have a red line here. So this is the one that causes the error. So we have to remove this and then go back to the form designer. There you go. All right. So now let's work on the checkboxes. What we want to do here is that as we check these boxes, it will add the name of the box inside of our text box. So we will also do the shared event handler. So let's select everything here. And then from the event list, we will use the event check. Where is that? Check change. There you go. Check change. All right. So let's write here text message that text is equals to. We have to do a typecasting because these are all check boxes. And we have to cast the sender and then access the text property. There you go. But before that, we have to examine if it was checked because we will only display the item or the name of the checked item if it was checked. So that is why we have to examine if it is checked. And we can do that by using the check property. So if it is checked, then we will display the name or the text property of the checked item. So let's write here check. Okay. Otherwise, we will do nothing. Otherwise, we will do nothing. So that is the meaning of the colon. So this is the shorthand or an inline if statement. So the question mark is an inline statement. If this is true, it will display the text. Otherwise, it will display nothing. Okay. All right. So let's have a test of this. So let's check. Okay. There you go. English, math, science. Okay. So, but in my case, I have already checked all of this. So therefore, all of these items must be inside of the text box. So we have to modify something in our code. Okay, so let's add here a plus sign. Okay, so let's try this again. English, math, science. Okay, there you go. Then let's click this again. Okay, so it keeps on adding. So it should be added only once. So let's modify this again. So what we will do is that let's examine if it is checked. So let's say we will remove the previous added text. So, and that is the text of the checkbox. Okay, remove it. That is the old and not remove. We have to replace. No, we have to replace it. We have to replace it. This is the old, and then the new will be this one. Okay. All right. So replace stands for replacing the old character, and then the old character, that is the text of the checked checkbox, and we will replace it with an empty. Okay. If this is not checked. So meaning it is unchecked. Let's try running this. Okay, English, math, science, science. All right, so it does not remove the text. So because we forgot to include a separation from our text. So let's include this with this one. Okay, to include a space. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, still it's not working. Okay, we are missing something. Okay, so we are missing this one. There you go. And then English, math, science, science, math, English. Okay, there you have it. We will also do the same thing for banana, apple, and grapes. So what we will do is just to copy and paste this. Copy, go to the form designer, select these items, go to the event list, and then go to the check change event. There you go, double click, paste it there, and everything is in place. Okay, so let's try running this again. Apple, banana, grapes, science, math, grapes. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that's all for this simple application. So to summarize everything, what we have done here is that we use option button to choose from sex and civil status. We also use the checkboxes to select subjects and fruits. And then we use the check change event for the checkboxes, and we also use the check change event for the civil status and sex options. Okay, so that's all for this video, and that wraps up our lesson. See you in the next videos.